Hey, Ixi, why does it seem like Junior Kanye nowadays is getting his predictions correct? Because you know what's crazy? Before the Kaizer Chiefs and Golden Arrows game, Junior Kanye did predict that Golden Arrows was gonna win. He said it's either Golden Arrows are gonna win or the game is gonna result in a draw. I'm like, this guy. Whenever this nowadays, because remember Junior Kanye in the game when Chiefs played against Cape Town City, he did predict that Cape Town City was gonna beat Kaizer Chiefs. Now all of a sudden, he predicted that Golden Arrows was gonna beat Kaizer Chiefs, and he got both of his predictions correct. Eh, hey boo, I'm sure, no? Since when does Junior Kanye get his predictions right, guys? Like, can someone explain that to me? Eh, hey boo, Junior Kanye. But look, let's just leave that, man. Let's leave that. Again, it speaks to what we know. Kaizer Chiefs, they win one game, and then it seems like they're taking one step forward, and then all of a sudden the next game it's like 5 steps back. Again, it's defeat for them. That's basically like their fourth or fifth defeat of the season. And of course, they're just far off the pace. So their last hope is just winning the Nedbank Cup. It was a very disappointing encounter. Again, it speaks to decision making in the final third, not moving the ball quick enough, leaving those gaps between the players. And when you are playing with two sixes in the midfield, there's always going to be that lack of creativity. Yeah. However, Sibongiseni Mthethwa had a great game, in this particular encounter. He had a very great game. However, when you're playing alongside a player like Yusuf Mart, you can't really expect much in terms of creativity in the midfield, because it's like Mart is not really a creative genius. He has his moments here and there, but he's not much of a creative genius. And then looking at the performance of the front three, which was like the youngsters, the academy graduates, which is, Wandile Duba, Mfundo Vilakazi, as well as Mdu Shabalala, and Tebogo Potsane, So I'll just say it's like the front four. They started the game. They actually were convincing here and there, but I feel like Uvilagazi Obrigadi, he was not in the game. Yeah, he wasn't in the game. He just had that one moment where he threaded a great pass. Unfortunately, it was well read by the Golden Arrows defender, which was Granwin Shitolo. Yeah, Shitolo had a great game. He had a great game. Ushitolo had a great game. I mean, he made important blocks, including Untutuzo Spear. When you look at that one chance that Chiefs had where they could have scored, Untutuzo Spear came and he cleared the ball. So it was like, wow, man. Golden Arrows really put up a great defensive shift in this particular game. That's why it was very difficult for Chiefs to actually create chances. But remember, like, that's the issue. Even though a club is able to have a great defensive unit and display it in a particular match day, it's very important for you to have those quality players. So that those quality players can create something out of nothing. Because you look at that game that Sundowns played yesterday against Maniema Union, in the CAF Champions League. It was like, still, man, Sundowns have the quality. Despite the fact that the Congolese had a great defensive unit, Sundowns showed the quality. They had so much quality that you knew that Sundowns were going to get a goal or even emerge as victorious. Unfortunately, from a Kaizer Chiefs perspective, there's not much in terms of quality. That's why it's very difficult for them to break stubborn defenses. And yes, Potsane, that was his first start. Yeah, he did have his moments. He did have his moments. He does bring so much more into the Kaizer Chiefs attack. But again, Kaizer Chiefs doesn't have a target man. When you look at Tebogo Potsane's style of play and the way he and what he brings to the team, you need a target man. You need to add numbers in the box, which is something that Kaizer Chiefs doesn't do. And I don't understand why Nabi doesn't see that this thing of him playing with two number sixes in the midfield is not working. Because, when you're there by the byline, you need to bring in more bodies into the box. Bring as many bodies as you can. And that's something he didn't do. Because, of course, you're playing with Yusuf Mart alongside Mthethwa. I would keep Mthethwa in the midfield, but you need another player who's a creative genius. And that's why I feel like, for me, the departure of Jaden Adams to Mamelodi Sundowns is a big loss for Kaizer Chiefs. Because I feel like, Jaden Adams is Kaizer Chiefs material. He's needed more at Kaizer Chiefs than he is needed at Mamelodi Sundowns. And I'm beginning to think that it's Fleming Beck who has a hand in all of this, the technical director of Mamelodi Sundowns, because, I mean, Mamelodi Sundowns, they don't need Jaden Adams. I mean, they already have got, they're stacked with quality in that midfield. The team that actually needs them more is Kaizer Chiefs, but I'm wondering, like, are they putting in the effort in terms of, bringing these players to Naturena or what? Because there's not much creativity in that Kaizer Chiefs midfield. That's the reason why they're struggling to break down opponents, and they have to use the width. They always have to use the width, which yes, it does work sometimes, but it's not always going to be effective, especially if you're not pushing numbers into the box. You know, and that's exactly what we saw. And then, from a set piece, Golden Arrows capitalized. They score in the early minutes of the second half, and then they just defend and win the game. As simple as that. And you could tell that there was no way in which Kaizer Chiefs were going to get an equalizer and go on to win the game. It was not like, it wouldn't be another fairy tale of what we saw in midweek against Stellenbosch FC. So it is what it is. So Kaizer Chiefs fall off the pace and Golden Arrows overtake them on the log table. Imagine, Golden Arrows literally jumped from 11th on the table to 5th. They've now leapfrogged Kaizer Chiefs 6 places. Just imagine. Speaks to the standard of South African football.